Hello, everyone. It's Joe, and I'm back with Paul Hutko from The Few. I don't even know what The Few, it's the more. Talk. What does The Few mean? I found this out, and would you just share that real quick?
Well, I mean, really, a few just means that we don't make a whole lot. We just make a few. But many people notice a similarity with our name and the initials of the woman that drove the Prohibition movement forward, Frances Elizabeth Willard. But that's a sheer coincidence, of course, and really just means we don't make a whole lot.
Excellent. Okay, let's go into the flagships, right? There's got to be a base to where you build your company, your foundation, and what are these products? How do they taste? Let's talk first the bourbon. I think if I'm going to taste them in order, I would always go bourbon to rye.
That's how I usually do it, but there's no right or
And
wrong
this is
answer.
a 70-20-10 mash.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about the bourbon, because I think the I don't want to call them base because it limits it, but your core products, how you keep the lights on at the distillery, pretty damn good products. Let's talk about them. Tell me about the bourbon.
So I mean, the bourbon's a killer bourbon. Doesn't taste like Kentucky bourbon because it's not. We make it grain to glass right here, just right outside Chicagoland, or just right outside Chicago. We're in Chicagoland. 70-20-10 uses a beer yeast for fermentation. So it's a Belgian Saison beer yeast that'll give you some kind of cinnamon, clove, pepper. I get a lot of coriander frequently. And to me, what makes it stand out is that yeast. It's going to be a very, very spicy bourbon for the world of bourbon, that is, but still got some really nice sweetness from that 70% corn. And I just think it's a really neat, unique bourbon because it is different. It doesn't taste like Kentucky. It's got its own little thing where it's spreading out, and the market is, people are really starting to react to it. It's number 2 selling craft whiskey in the United States for folks that make their own. Something we're really proud of. People, once people try it, they fall in love because it is a little bit different and it doesn't have the same flavors as a lot of other stuff. No, not everybody's going to like it, but a few people will.
I like that. So let me add out there for listeners that buy their bourbons and their whiskeys from me. I think what's interesting is I try and learn each region that everything is produced in. And again, could be Illinois, could be New York, Texas. I got stuff coming in from North Carolina now, Las Vegas, Washington, doesn't matter. And sometimes when we get into bourbon, we're so narrow to one category, Kentucky, and then maybe even one distillery, right? A lot of us want this, the only bottle you're looking for. What I found is there's so much amazing product in the market, amazing product. And an amazing product is really understanding, learning how to smell it, learning how to drink it, get your 3-4 sips in, clean your palate out, get all the way back, and then all of a sudden you say like, wow, that's pretty nice alcohol. And I can only tell you this, The Few is by far one of the top craft distillers in the United States. And the thing is, I'd love people to challenge me as these videos go out on the social media, say Joe's full of baloney. But I want to be full of baloney after you taste these, because I taste them and I'm like, holy cow, every single one of them. He doesn't put a bad spirit out. And I'm not trying to make your head get bigger, Paul, because the screen's too small. But you make great product. And that's what people need to know in our marketplace. Not only in our marketplace, but everywhere. Because we get so stuck on one type of style when you have depth, complexity, and a lasting palate. And I have to tell you something, for me, I'm a liquor buyer. I think your stuff is amazing. So
Thanks,
let's go with the bourbon.
Yeah, I think I love Kentucky bourbon as much as the next guy. It's great whiskey. I might like one Kentucky distillery more than you do, and you might like a different one. And the thing about bourbon is that we're both correct. They're right. They're great whiskeys. Ours is going to be a little bit different, and I think that a lot of whiskey consumers, yes, you might like fill in the name brand distillery out of Kentucky, and I'm going to agree with you. They make great whiskey. Ours is going to be a little bit different. And I think we have that same quality that they have down in Kentucky. But at the end of the day, ours is going to taste a little different. So sometimes you might want something a little bit different. Sometimes you might want a few different whiskeys, if you will.
Well, I think what's important there is when you're buying these products, understand they're super complex, which is what we want, regardless of the region it comes from. They have long palates. That guy is sitting with me right now. That bourbon is sitting with me. Got nice spice on it from the rye, but not overwhelming. Nice palate. Mouth is drying out. I tell you what, that's a hell of a bourbon. For being a staple, and again, we're talking about products under $50. As everybody raises their prices in this industry, there's one brand you should be looking at. What's the worst thing you do? You try a bottle of few, and if we're off, you move away from the category. But I got to be honest with you, you buy one bottle of few, you're gonna buy them all. I truly believe that. I haven't found a bad one, and when I do, I'm calling. I'll be right on you, Paul. Be like, what is this?
Well, little secret is we have made bad stuff in the past. We just keep it all for ourselves and pour it down the drain. If it's not good, we don't sell it. Period.
I have a couple guys I'd like to get some of them bottles for. Anyways, let's move on to the rye. Let's do the rye and the bourbon together because we got to talk flagships. What makes a company great? These are the flagships. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to get a little bit if it's okay.
Please do.
Okay.
So a few rye is. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, please.
Yeah, few rye is the reverse mash bill. 70% rye, 20% corn, 10% malt. But instead of that really spicy yeast, we use a yeast that's going to give it a lot of fruit out of the Loire Valley in France. And so with the few rye, which was Whiskey Advocate Magazine's Craft Whiskey of the Year, you get this amazing balance between spice, sweet, and fruit. And I know we were talking about San Francisco a little bit ago. Few Rye just won double gold in San Francisco as well.
I love the way you throw all the awards in, but that's all right. You're the guy getting those awards. But what was the first one? You said it won.
The first one.
Oh
yeah, the Few American Whiskey just won Best in Class double gold in San Francisco as well. So we got some nice hardware out in San Francisco this year, which is cool because it's the world's largest spirits competition. We're going up. We're going on the stage against the best of the best, and we're winning.
I love that, guys. I tell you what, for everybody that watches anything to do with Lucas Liquors, I am an overwhelming supporter of Few, and I have. I think every one of their bottles need to be drank because they're all well-made spirits. And if you ever see when I'm drinking, I always drink with no ice, no water, no nothing. I put it in because I want to try and understand a spirit. And I think it's super important. And when they win, I love that. But they're all easy to drink. They're super easy to drink, especially if you made a mixed cocktail, you did something with them. You're starting with a base that's outstanding. So let's go
and all around $50 too. It's like about a $50 bottle. Very, very reasonable, at least in my mind.
Yes, except for the blue corn, which is $69. But blue corn is something special. They're all special, but blue corn is like,
wow. So then the rye, obviously, you can drink it neat, just like Joe's doing. You can put it on the rocks. But I will admit that I'm a little partial to the rye in both Manhattans, as well as a cocktail called the Boulevardier. It's a great whiskey because you can drink it neat, but you can also cocktail with it, and you're going to end up being pretty happy.
So let me share this with you for rye. For those guys that buy a lot of rye from me, I always describe rye as two ways, right? To me, there's two styles. There's the big hot styles and the softer styles. 1 through 10, when it comes in your face, you get that rye flavor. 1 through 10, you get that heat in the back. That's how I describe a rye. And it's more blue collar way to describe it, right? I'm sure there's more technical terms. So first of all, I get my nose in there. It's just beautiful. What a beautiful nose on this bottle. About a 6 rye flavor in the front, and there's virtually no heat. It's so gentle. It's just a beautiful rye. It's a, I tell you what, that's amazing. And I know there's mixed drinks out there that goes in, but that deserves its own glass. That's all I can say, Paul. I can't tell you. I truly appreciate you taking the time with me. I know you're busy at the distillery. We got to get back to selling some booze too. And
Absolutely.
I just, man, thank you for taking the time. I need to do this again. And as soon as this stuff is over, I'd like to shoot a segment at the few, and
Perfect.
and we'll check what's in your coffee cup too, because we're gonna
Yeah,
have. Oh,
don't you judge me.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I was just trying to be honest. Anyways, I'd love to come to the few, and I really want to feature you because, you know, I got to be honest with you. Your all your spirits are amazing, and you should be proud. You should be proud of the company you've done. You guys do an incredible craft spirit. I want to carry barrels of your stuff in my store because
We'll
I
get you.
think once the public starts drinking and understanding who the few is, I think Kentucky's got a challenger, and you're it. That's all I'll
Thanks,
say.
Joe.
And I want my customers to challenge me on that. I truly appreciate that. Challenge me. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't believe I am because I know your stuff is high quality. That's all. So I
Thanks.
appreciate your time. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time. I hope to do this again. Let's maybe come back in a couple months. Hopefully this, if this calms all down, I'm going to do it sitting next to you.
Perfect. Much
Okay?
better that way.
Absolutely. So Paul, thank you very much for your time. You have a blessed day. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everybody stay safe and we'll talk soon. Thank
Be
you.
well. Thanks, Joe.